I have been reading 10% Human by Alana Collin. She brings to our attention a very unusual phenomenon. The phenomenon Alana Collin describes is well established in migratory ecology and is called migratory hyperphagia, followed by pre-migratory fattening. What makes it especially intriguing is that these changes occur even when the birds never migrate, suggesting that the trigger is internal rather than environmental. The gut and its resident microbes are increasingly thought to play a meaningful role in this process. Below is an expanded explanation from 3 angles: physiology, circannual rhythms, and the microbiome. 1. The physiological process. Pre-migratory fattening. Garden warblers, and many other migratory birds, undergo a rapid, dramatic increase in body mass before migration. Key points: they increase food intake massively, hyperphagia, often doubling their daily caloric consumption. The excess is stored almost entirely as fat, the most energy-dense fuel available. During a long-distance migration, they metabolize this fat with extraordinary efficiency, sometimes losing up to 40 to 50% of their total body mass within the journey. Upon arrival in Africa, they return to normal feeding and rapidly stabilize at their baseline weight. This cycle is highly predictable and happens annually. 2. Even captive birds do it. The importance of internal timing. The striking element, as Collin notes, is that captive garden warblers show the same fattening pattern even when they receive identical food year-round, are not exposed to long daylight hours that mimic migration season, cannot migrate at all. This points to an internal circannual rhythm, a built-in biological clock that runs on an annual cycle, controlling appetite, metabolism, hormone secretion, fat storage, activity patterns. This rhythm is thought to be governed by the hypothalamus and endocrine system, somewhat parallel to circadian rhythms, but on a yearly cycle. However, this is where the microbiome becomes interesting. 3. The microbiome's role, an adaptive metabolic switch. Recent research, including in mammals and other birds, indicates that gut microbes are not passive passengers. They may actively influence seasonal physiology in several ways. A. Microbiome restructuring. Before migration, the bird's gut microbiome shifts toward microbes that extract more calories from food, microbes that break down complex carbohydrates more efficiently, communities that support rapid fat deposition. This is similar to what is observed in hibernating mammals that bulk up before winter. B. Microbial signaling. To the host, microbes produce signaling molecules that can alter hunger and satiety hormones, affect fat synthesis in the liver, adjust insulin sensitivity and glucose use, prime the immune system for the metabolic stress of migration. Some studies show that transplanting pre-migration microbiomes into other birds can induce similar metabolic changes, suggesting a causal effect. C. Energy harvesting efficiency. Migratory birds need the most efficient possible conversion of food into stored fat. Microbial shifts improve extraction of short-chain fatty acids, which drive fat storage, protein breakdown for muscle maintenance, antioxidant molecule production to protect tissues during intense flight. 4. Why would captive birds still respond? Even in captivity, the internal circannual clock likely signals the gut when the migration season approaches. The gut, in turn, shifts its microbial composition accordingly. So the sequence becomes: internal clock hormone changes, gut microbiome shift, metabolic fattening behavior. Captive birds may experience increased appetite, fat storage, agitation or migratory restlessness, called zoogunruah, even without environmental cues. 5. Why this matters, and why Collin emphasizes it. Collin's broader argument in 10% Human is that the microbiome is a powerful regulator of metabolism across species. Humans may also carry gut microbe programming that shapes appetite, fat storage, and energy balance in ways we don't consciously control. The garden warbler is a clear example where the gut acts almost like an endocrine organ, coordinating with the brain to prepare the body for a major annual event. In summary, garden warblers gain enormous amounts of weight before migration due to a combination of 1. Internal circannual timing systems that drive hyperphagia and fat storage. 2. Hormonal and metabolic changes geared towards long-distance endurance flight. 3. A seasonally shifting microbiome that increases calorie extraction and promotes fat deposition. The fact that captive birds still follow the same pattern shows the process is biologically hardwired, and the involvement of the gut suggests the microbiome is a key metabolic partner in this annual transformation.